Material transmutation. Is it profitable or not? That was kind of my idea because I was sick and tired of everyone telling me that it makes so much gil and you make so much money from it. So I actually want to figure it out with Dawn Trail of how profitable is it actually? And I spent a lot of time, and by a lot of time, I spent an hour. An hour just transmutation, or however it's called. So in Central Thanaland, there is this dude called Mutex, and if you give him 5 materia, he will give you 1 in return, and that doesn't sound like a good deal. However, it can be a higher grade than what you are at. So if you hand in, something like 1,300 10s, how many 11 grade 11 materia will you get back? And the same premise goes for if you wanted to turn grade 11s into 12. Keynote, don't do that. You're going to lose great materia because the odds aren't that good. So breaking it down, I spreadsheeted everything because that's what I could do. And I tried to be as optimal as possible while picking 1 of every single different materia because you can give them 5 of the same. However, then there's like 13 different materia that you could give back. However, if you give him 5 different ones, he cannot give you those materia back. So that limits the pool that you can get. So for example, there's Savage Aim, Might, Quick Arm, Quick Tongue, which is skill speeds, and then like the tenacity ones. If you give him those, you're going to be more than likely going to be getting a gathering materia back. And that's the whole premise of this. Give him 5 materia, and then you get 1 type of materia that's possibly a grade above of one of the materia that you didn't give him. So the idea is you turn in all of your old battle materia in the hopes of getting gathering and crafting materia, and then you sell those. So I started out with 1,320 roughly materia that were grade 10s that I was willing to trade in. And these are the amounts that I started with. And over the hour, I got 253 transmutations done, which is quite a bit. My whole idea was if I get a 10 of gathering, I'm going to keep it, however, because I wanted to use it for melds. So those didn't like refund. I didn't use those to refund my processes. Anything that was crafting and gathering I kept, and then anything that was a grade 11 I kept. So I could have made a little bit more gil than what I did. However, that was not necessarily the idea of everything I wanted to do. I want to see how good it is at getting your grade 11s. And at the end of it all, I started out with 1,300 grade 10s, and I only ended up with 32 grade 11s across all of my materia, whether they be combat or crafting and gathering. So at the end of the day, you have about a 2.5% chance of getting a grade 11 from turning in your grade 10s. So what that basically means is for every 100 grade 10s you are handing in, you are getting 2 grade 11s back. So those aren't that good of odds. So, but the amount of time that it would take was 250-ish transmutations was only an hour. So depending on what server you are on, these are all primal numbers. So you could have had better odds than me, or not better. Well, I suppose you could have better odds, but you could have made more profit. But this is basically what I came out to. So with all the materia that I got from this, I averaged out the price, and this was the price on July 3rd. And then this price here is today's prices of August 12th. And then this was the day of Dawn Trail release. So I kind of mapped it out here just to show how profitable it was. And I basically times it by whatever the lowest market value price is. So on my server, this is how much I would have made by just selling my grade 10s at the time, which is about 600,000. Of the total materia, and then of the grade 11 materias that I sold, even if I included the combat ones, which these right now are a lot, well, the Pleiadian ones, but basically anything that's a red materia grade 11, they're selling for 12K right now. So probably a lot more profitable than at this time, even though I only got 1. So if you had a bunch of grade 10s that you could turn into these combat materials, it would probably be profitable. But with what I made of just the grade 11s was about 300,000 and gil. So my total profit at the time was if they all sold, I kept them all by the way, but this is just theoretical if they sold, was about roughly 1 million gil. So a million gil for an hour of work is actually not that bad. It was a lot better than I thought it was going to be. Considering the vendor price was about 200,000. So, I mean, 800,000 in pure profit over vendor, which is good. But if you compare it to nowadays of what Materia is selling at, it's like 300,000. So an hour of work for 100,000 gil, not really worth it in my eyes. Just today's prices. These will probably, you know, they go up and down depending on, you know, patch cycles. So if you had them, you could hold on to it. But the theoretical profit on the day of Doncho release, when people were overpaying for Materia, you're paying like 400,000 for grade 11, you know, crafting Materia. So that theoretical profit came out to 10 million. So that basically what I'm saying for 8.0, if you're willing to spend the hour and you have this much Materia, which really after an entire expansion isn't that much, you can make like 10 million gil. So is it profitable? The answer is it depends. I'd still think it's worth it, I guess. If you're willing to do it early in the expansion, it's definitely worth it. Excuse me. If you're willing to do it early in the expansion, it is definitely worth it. Other than that, yeah, I don't know. There's my data. I don't know. If you want me to break down anything else, please let me know. But yeah, that's what I found. Hope you have a great day. Bye.